Because of Right Track, I have a job and money now.
Because of Right Track, I learned how to use the computer better.
Because of Right Track, I've made important connections.
I was featured in the Star Tribune.
I was able to learn about water quality.
I have improved my public speaking skills.
I learned how to be more professional.
Because of Right Track, I have money to pay for college.
Because of Right Track, I know what to do in the future.
Are you on the right track?
Because of Right Track, 90 youth workers in professional internships with 36 different employers this summer, and 99% of them completed their internships.
Because of Right Track, these interns worked over 14,000 hours and earned more than $125,000 in wages.
Because of Right Track, we are changing the way St. Paul views young people in the workforce.
Welcome and good afternoon, everyone. My name is Catherine Penkert, and I have the honor and privilege of managing Right Track for the City of St. Paul. We are so glad you could all be here and with us to celebrate today, and we have a wonderful program in store for you. Before we begin, I want to take a moment to recognize a few people whose contributions were critical to the success of this summer. And I have to say it was a huge success. This room is a lot more people than we had together last year. And then after I say my thank yous, I'm going to get out of the way and step aside and let our talented interns run the show. So first I want to acknowledge funders. The St. Paul Area Chamber of Commerce Foundation, the St. Paul Foundation, F.R. Bigelow Foundation, and the Bush Foundation provided financial support for events like today and other key program costs. The other members of our Right Track staff team are here today. Trenton Henspeter, Monica Herbst, Hannah Reed, and Kayla Hammond. They worked behind the scenes to solve problems, build relationships, and support youth success. Genesis Works are a partner organization, and in particular, Crystal Stackhouse, one of their program coordinators, were huge partners with us this summer. Crystal provided mentorship for our staff and helped develop training curriculum. And Genesis Works loaned their fantastic training space for our interns to use in their weekly professional development sessions. I want to mention interns who created materials for our event today. Gabriela Franco did the certificates that the youth interns received. Robbie and Camilo from the St. Paul Chamber did the photo slideshow that you saw at the beginning, and Anthony Meisner from the St. Paul Public Library designed the programs. And finally, I want to thank Mayor Chris Coleman, Superintendent Valeria Silva, and Councilmember Chris Tolbert, who have been vocal supporters of Right Track and of the importance of youth jobs as an education and workforce development strategy in St. Paul. And now, without further ado, I give you your MC for the day, Right Track intern Teray Gates.
Thank you, Catherine. Good afternoon. My name is Teray. This summer, I was a Right Track YJ2 intern at the Minnesota Pollution Control Agency. This summer, we set a record by building the world's biggest wad of paper. The wad of paper will be on display at the Minnesota State Fair. It represents all the paper we throw away every 30 seconds. Setting a world record is something I will never forget. And I know the interns also had unforgettable experiences this summer. I'm excited here, oh man. Excuse me. I'm excited to be here today. I'm excited to celebrate all of our accomplishments. Now please join me in welcoming Mayor Chris Coleman.
You got me in between bites. Good afternoon, everyone. It really is great to see so many folks here. You know, last year when we had this celebration, it was the first year of the program, really trying to just get it up and started. And it was a really nice celebration on Ecolab Plaza, but it was about a 1/10 of this size. And it was great. But to see this program explode, to see all of you that had Right Track internships this year, to see all of the sponsors of interns, just absolutely fantastic. Councilmember Tolbert led the way last year. This is his second year with a Right Track intern We had our Quinn, where's Quinn? He's got to be here. He's in there, did an incredible job for us in our office. Good to see you. It's so much fun because I know the value what you can get from an employee standpoint, but I also know the value from an intern standpoint about how important these summer jobs have been. Hopefully, as you see, as you go through the 3 phases of this program, really get that first introductory job, move up in your 2nd year or 3rd year, ultimately working with Genesis Works or one of our great companies, working in IT, doing all the incredible things. You just get such a foundation for the rest of your life. And it really is an amazing thing. It is so important. We know that only 1/3 of our youth have summer jobs, and that just is, we absolutely need to make sure that we provide these opportunities. And so to all of you that make this possible, to all of the sponsors, to the foundations, to the Chamber, which has been such a great partner, Genesis Works, just incredible, to the folks that work for us. Catherine, thank you so much for your leadership on this. I just want to say congratulations to a great summer. But imagine next year, when we can't host this here, we're going to have to host it at the River Center because there are going to be so many people that have Right Track interns during the course of the summer. We're going to change the face of this city. But ultimately, it's about all of you who worked this summer, who got that experience, who got that foot in the door, and the path that you are now on to have a successful career. So congratulations. Thank you so much. Let's keep this program growing, thriving, and moving forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor. We appreciate your support of this work. The next part of our program features 3 interns who will each share some stories of what Right Track meant to them. First, we have Contessa Bostic, who worked at the Minnesota Historical Society. Contessa?
Hi, my name is Contessa Bostic. I was an intern at the Minnesota Historical Society with my lovely supervisor, Lori, who I don't see, but she was great. And I'm here to tell you about what Right Track did for me. Right Track to me was Muhammad Ali, standing 6'3", heavyweight champion of the world, undefeated. I was Rocky Balboa, standing 5'9", looking up to my opponent, unaware of what had really just stepped into the ring. A clean-cut, technique-using, combo-throwing machine. I, Rocky, first had to understand, before I could defeat my opponent, I must first know my opponent, what weaknesses I could benefit from and what strengths to avoid. But what most people fail to realize is being number 1 is not always an accomplishment, but learning and progressing is always, without a doubt, something to be proud of. I walked into my internship with an exponential amount of questions and concerns, ready to work and afraid to fail. My job coaches sucked that fear out of me. At our weekly meetings, they taught me something valuable every week. It never failed. Some things were review, other things were brand new to me. Either way, I was very appreciative to have someone on the side of the ring helping me with the objective at hand. And with this help, I was able to complete my internship successfully and take some lifelong skills with me. Thank you. Okay, now I'll be introducing the next intern, Abdul.
Hello there, how y'all doing? All right, good afternoon, guys. All right, today I'm here to talk to you all about my journey from there to here, where I am standing right now. All right, so first, my dad met my mom. Oh, no, I'm not gonna go into that detail. But, when I was younger, I found out that my mom actually had about 5 kids then. And there was a lot that my mom had to provide for the family. And I was nervous. I was like, oh no, I'm not gonna get enough. I'm not gonna get enough. So I had this blue uniform that I would wear every single day, but I still smiled. I was happy about it. And I would go to religion school all the time. And what we'd use is basically a little board. We'd write with it a little sap with chalk mixed in it that would create some ink. So that was our creative way of writing and learning, basically. But we didn't learn English or any of that. I started learning English when I came to America, which was the end of 2008. And I get to America, and I start liking the language, and I was like, oh no, I'm not gonna fit in. So what I tried to do was the stuff that I learned from the movies back when I was in Africa, what I used to watch. So I'm here in America, I'm like, oh man, I gotta act like these models and stuff. But so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna try something else. And I started becoming mature and everything, and I didn't grow up with my mom. Sidetrack, go back. I didn't grow up with my mom. I actually knew my mom from pictures and just talking to her on the phone. My grandmother raised me. So I come to America in 2008, me and my mom then, and I started building up this relationship, and she starts telling me, son, you gotta become more mature. I'm like, Mom, I'm just 11. Let me be a kid. And then I started becoming a little more mature. I started growing into a phase of, a young, mature man, a young African-American mature man. So I started looking out for volunteer things. My 8th grade year comes, and then that's when I'm eligible to volunteer. That's what I was told, but you can volunteer at any age. So I started volunteering, and I started getting this nice experience and everything. And one day when I'm playing basketball, the director of a rec center, and that's called Langford, Will Jean, comes up to me and he says, hey man, you interested in an internship? And I'm like, what are you talking about? And he says, yeah, it's a job. You can work for me. You can still play basketball. You can help out kids. You can basically do what you do, but get paid. I'm like, all right, I'm interested. Sign me up. And he says, okay, it's just gonna take a year. I'm like, what? And it's like, man, you just missed the deadline. And I'm like, okay. I stay patient for a year. The year comes, and then I sign up for this program. It was Right Track, YJ1. And I'm like, okay, I'm all set. I apply, I go through the interviews, everything, I'm all set. On the payroll, everything, I'm set for the first day. And then another day comes. He says, hey man, I really hate doing this, but remember how you told me you want to get into business and you want to become an entrepreneur or something, somewhere in the business field? And I say, yeah, I remember telling you that. And he says, yeah, there's an opportunity for you to start taking small steps towards that. Actually, big, small steps towards that, medium steps. So I say, all right, I'm interested in this. What is it? He's like, you want to work in a bank? I'm like, what if I take some money? And he's like, no, you're not gonna have that problem. And then he says, all right, you're pretty mature. I like your attitude. You'd fit in it. You'd fit in this team pretty well. I'm like, all right. Then I call Trenton, and I tell Trenton, hey Trenton, I'm interested in working for the bank. And Will honestly was very sad because he wanted me to work for him. But hopefully I'm gonna work for him this upcoming fall. So I go to Trenton, and then I tell Trenton, hey Trenton, I'm all set, I'm all ready, everything. And then he says, all right, so you're set, here's your interview date. And then I go to my manager, Jose Martinez. I have an interview with him, and he's introducing me to everywhere. I'm like, all right, and I'm excited. And as I get there, I'm like, okay, I'm good, okay. I'm here before time. And then I start taking my phone out. I'm like, wow, this is a really cool place. And I start taking pictures. I'm like, later on, he tells me, no, that's not all right. After I go down to the safety deposit box, the box was so cool. I'm telling you guys, it's pretty cool. The door is that's the best door I've seen probably. And I'm trying to take a picture. He's like, no, man, no, you cannot do that, no. I'm like, all right. Come on. And then the first day comes. And then I'm all excited and everything. I wake up at 4. I'm supposed to be at work at like 9. I'm all ready. I take a shower, all excited and everything, all jolly. Then I go to the bus stop. I hate waking my mom up, so my mom works pretty late. So I go to the bus stop and I'm all ready, all set, excited. And what I see is I notice an hour goes by. I'm like, oh, I still can wait. I got enough time. Another hour goes by. I go up to the next stop, and I'm like, oh my God, what's going on? And then I look on my phone that it's like I got 30 minutes to get to work. And I'm like, I go to a different bus stop. And then that stop, it takes about 30 minutes because I live like about an hour away from my job. Transportation is really hard to get into my job, but I still made it through. So I wait for about 30 minutes and it comes, the different route comes. I get to my bus stop, I get to my workplace like 15, 30 minutes late, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna be fired before I even start. Oh God, I'm all nervous, everything, but everyone welcomes me with warm hands. I honestly felt so welcome there. It was like I'm part of another family, I was part of 2 families basically. So Jose starts telling me that, this is gonna be your job. You're gonna be welcoming customers. You're gonna be taking them down to the safety deposit box. You're gonna help out all the tellers with their transactions and talking to the customers basically. And I'm like, all right, I can do that. And I get very excited, and everyone just is like so friendly to me, so kind. And then one day I asked one of my coworkers, I say, hey, what did you think of me like the first day before I came? She's like, first year high schooler, never had a job experience, and you're just a high schooler. I'm like, oh, well, all right. And then, what do you think of me now? She just let the list go rolling on. I was like, oh, wow, that's a lot of praising, but thank you. And I go to Jose, I ask him how I'm doing, and he tells me a lot of feedback, and I just and then there was a lot of feedback that he gave me that I liked. And there was some that I think that I could have improved on, and I've tried to improve on it, tried my best, and kept trying, never gave up. But honestly, it was amazing. It was like probably the best summer. My teacher told me, next year, I don't want to hear anyone that was, my AVID teacher told me, I don't want to hear anyone saying all they did was sleep. I want everyone to be productive during the summer. I want everyone to do something. And this is basically, I'm going to be a senior at Central, and U.S. Bank honestly put me in the right shape for college, basically. And I could put this on my resume, and all I have to say is, yep, I worked at U.S. Bank. And then, I like the experience. It was honestly one of the best experiences that I've honestly got the opportunity to get. What more can I ask for? Well, thank you very much. That was it. Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. And the next intern is Kali, who worked. Oh, she's gonna explain it to you guys.
I had to be careful coming up. Good afternoon, fellow Right Trackers, supervisors, job coaches, along with the many, many successful professionals here today. My name is Cowley Her, and this upcoming school year, I will be a junior at Washington Technology Magnet School. I am the youngest of 7 born to my parents. And now you would think that I would have had the least duties to fulfill, but, oh, excuse me. let me tell you how much my siblings loved me when I was little. They would teach me how to do the chores and then leave me to do it. To me, at the time, it was a game because when I did finish the chores, I got candy for it. I thought it was a win-win situation, but now that I look back and reflect on it, I saw that it was just pure evil genius that they planned. So, while I grew up, I have a mother that couldn't really do much for us. When I was born, before I was born, she had a stroke, and because of it, that disabled her from doing the many things that she would have loved to do today, like running or even being understood being understood by the people that she loves the most. Now you can imagine how hard it was for my dad, being a refugee from the camps of Thailand and coming here and doing everything for us just by himself. He always told me that you had to have courage when you're scared, because courage is the only thing that will pull you back up when you are about to fall. Now, growing up, I never really had the chance to go out. My siblings, they were older. They had many things that they wanted to do with friends, school, work, volunteering, the community. I was always home. But home was comfort. Home was where someone could sneeze and I wouldn't have to say bless you. So I found that when I had the chance to go out, I was less comfortable, more polite, less talkative, more shy. It wasn't really until I hit high school that I realized that I had to get out of my comfort zone. If I wanted to be somebody who was going to be able to help myself, my family, and others, I had to go out and experience for myself. Then I started getting involved with STLF and community groups such as Youth Leadership Team, and even the little things like being a leader in the classroom. I really opened myself up because I knew that it would only be better for me and my future. Now, this summer with Right Track, I had the amazing opportunity to intern at Crow Construction Management. Working there, I was definitely nervous. I was scared that I would make a mistake, so I was always cautious and asked the questions that bothered me, the questions that helped me get the job done and done correctly. Every day I went to work and held onto that cliff that my dad always told me about. Every day I went to work trying to pull myself up and understanding that this is the real world. And though it's okay to make mistakes once in a while, I couldn't mess up every single time. Through the things I've encountered, I learned that it is never easy to do something new, especially something that you're not particularly used to. This was what made my internship so special to me, though. I went in thinking that I knew how to mail documents, that I knew how to answer the phone, that I knew how to organize things in a way that would only make things easier for everyone. I wasn't wrong, but I wasn't right either. Truth is, it was difficult because different rules applied at the workplace than it did at home or at school or anywhere else. I have gained so many small yet important tips that benefits me now with my future. I cherished every moment I spent at Crow Construction Management because the people there are so welcoming and so wonderful. It made me realize that it doesn't necessarily matter what you work on or where you work, but what does matter is who you work with. Anybody can become anything, but the real anchor in that success is the teamwork that's behind it. This is something that I will carry and keep with for the rest of my life, probably. Though I know that the future is remote and I can't just visualize what I want to become yet, I believe that I will be a very successful professional because of what I've experienced this summer with Right Track. I feel like I have much more useful information in understanding what a career really is and how things actually work. In my future, I see myself working with wonderful people. People who know how to have fun but know how to be serious and professional as well. Professionals that know how to get on top of that cliff and conquer what they want in life. Thank you for being such a caring and appreciative audience, and I am proud to say that I'm very happy standing up here today and sharing my experience with you guys. Thank you for listening, and though my story may not have been the greatest, it is because this is only the beginning and there's still more chapters to fill. Thank you. And now I will turn it over to Teray.
Okay. Thank you, Contessa, Abdul, and Kali. You know, can we give them another hand? They did a great job. Come on, yeah. As you can see, we all learned a lot about public speaking this summer. And now I would like to introduce our final speaker, President of the St. Paul Area Chamber of Commerce, Matt Kramer.
Thank you. Well, it's easy to be last because I don't have to say very much. Everything that's been said was encapsulated in incredible stories of internships. When I thought why the business community should be engaged in this with the great city of St. Paul and with Mayor Chris Coleman, it easily summed up. This Right Track program is about turning mirrors into windows. Every morning you get up, you look in the mirror, you brush your teeth. And after this summer, this mirror turned into a window where you see your future. You see those chapters that you're going to write in the future. Mr. Mayor, I can't wait to be at the River Center next year. Great business community. We're going to do even more. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Matt. And thank you for everyone for attending. That concludes our formal program for this evening. Servers will now bring out dessert. Feel free to stay and mingle. Interns, please gather in the back so we can take a group photo and video. We hope to see you all again next summer. Thank you.